Altar 3. In addition to the candles, the cross, the chalice, the paten, the purificator, the corporal, the pall, the veil, and the burse, Father Mike also has 2 books on the altar. The Gospel Book. Father Mike places the Gospel book on the altar after he reads the Gospel. You may feel free to add a Bible to your altar. The Missal. The Missal is already on the altar before our service begins. The Missal has all the words and instructions of our service for the celebrant to say and do. You may use a book of common prayer in place of a Missal, or you can make an abbreviated version with us today. You may find the PDFs of all of our handouts in our weekly e-blast and on our website. We will use the red cardstock or red poster board to make the book and instructions that go on the altar, called the Missal. Print out a copy of the Missal. Cut the cardstock a little bit larger than the printed paper. Glue or tape the instructions to the cardstock and then fold in half like a book. Let's look at our instructions in the Missal. The order for celebrating the Holy Eucharist is broken up into 2 sections. First, the Liturgy of the Word. We gather in the Lord's name and we read the Word of God and respond with songs of praise, prayers of the people, and our confession. We finish the Liturgy of the Word with the passing of the peace. The second half of the order for celebrating the Holy Eucharist is the Holy Communion. We prepare the table, retell the story of the first Eucharist, break the bread, and share the gifts of God. This section includes the Lord's Prayer. Hopefully you have all the items for your own altar, but let's look at the items at St. John's. St. John's altar starts with the green altar cloth in this growing season, and then we add a fair linen. Next, we start vesting our chalice, building from the bottom up. The chalice, the purificator, the paten, and the wafer. Then we add the pall. We make sure the corporal is tucked inside the burse. We take our time arranging the veil and place the burse on top. Here is a peek at how it can look from the back. Next time you watch Father Mike celebrate, see if you can follow the order for celebrating the Holy Eucharist. You can set your own altar and vest your own chalice and follow along with your Missal. Today you may build your altar as a simple altar, or you may build your altar with a vested chalice. Today, when you put your altar together, you will first lay down your fair linen, and then you may add your candlesticks and candle holders at either side, and you may put your cross in the middle at the back, and in front of the cross you will place your chalice and your paten, or small plate. Please see the pictures and illustrations. And this is how you build your altar with a vested chalice. As you can see from the picture of the vested chalice, first you will start with the chalice on bottom, then you will lay the purificator on top of the chalice. Next you stack the paten on top and place the wafer on the paten. Still building higher, you will add the pall. It may take you a little bit to get the veil situated just right over the pall, and it should look like a trapezoid tent that covers the entire stack. Finally, you put the burse on top, which has the corporal hidden inside. Now let's watch Father Mike vest the chalice in slow motion. He starts with his chalice and puts the purificator on top. Then he adds his paten. Next comes the pall. And then the veil. And finally the burse.